Western civilization is moving closer to a point of irreconcilable, unstable equilibrium, as frighteningly increasing numbers of people trust nothing. Media, academia, and especially the governments are no longer held in high esteem. Regaining trust is often impossible after betrayal. However, transparency is essential to any healing process, and that is the essence of the Don Sullivan Show. Please listen to the team explore, probe, and debate cutting-edge science, technology, and computing. Play ball!
Welcome to a very special episode of the Don Sullivan Show. As you can hear, Don is currently on the road, and you're going to learn more about that very shortly. I'm your co-host, Jersey Steve. First, we want to thank our sponsors. Today's episode is brought to you by License Fortress, the industry's first and only software asset management firm to offer both a financial and legal guarantee at its highest level of service. Whether it's Oracle, Microsoft, or VMware, License Fortress helps organizations stay compliant, avoid audits, and save money. You can learn more at licensefortress.com. And please support our producer, our wonderful producer, Bill Axt, by visiting axtinc.com. That is AXTINK.com. You can subscribe to his YouTube channel and help support his efforts to create humorous animation, as well as run our website, all while researching a cure for baldness.
Hello, welcome to the loyal fans of the Don Sullivan Show. So Steve's going to have a lot of comments during and before and after this particular show.
I will. When Don told me this idea for the episode, I was thinking, we'll see how this goes, but I will let him continue.
It's going to be a very special episode. I'm starting it the night before because I want to make a couple of comments on how this is going to go. It's not going to be one of the more flippant, sarcastic, and somewhat humorous, informational, and overall fun episodes that we have done here in the Don Sullivan Show.
It'll still be flippant.
But it's incredibly important. It's important because we want people who listen to this show to understand science. And to understand science to a certain extent, just like sports, and sports is a science, it is an art, the concept of proprioceptism, that is learn by doing, or at least learn by experiencing, in this case, learn by listening, is extremely useful. So in the morning, or actually probably in the early afternoon, given how these things go, I'm going to have major surgery on my right elbow. For the last 7 years, I've been losing some control of my right hand, and my right elbow is in pain. It's been inflamed. My physical therapist, Brad, who you all know from previous episodes of the Don Sullivan Show.
Brad was episode 39. If you guys haven't watched it, check it out after this one.
Has been extremely adept at keeping it in check. It amazingly has nothing to do with, here, I'm outside right now, narrating the sort of precursor to tomorrow morning's episode. And my dog Andy and I just walked past another dog. But Brad has been good at keeping this under control. And this is not like other more common elbow problems. Despite the fact that I've probably thrown a million pitches of one variety or another over 50 plus years in a non-professional capacity, unlike other members of my family, I have really good mechanics overall, which we will have different episodes of the Don Sullivan Show, as I mentioned before, and we will talk about that. But I have a different situation, and my elbow nerve, the ulnar nerve, which often with pitchers has to be reconstructed, either doing complete Tommy John surgery, which means, of course, to replace the tendon, or the internal brace surgery, which means to repair it with some type of medically approved or medically capable super glue. You see many superstar athletes like Aaron Rodgers and Kobe Bryant have had that done with their elbows. I believe Garrett Cole had it done to a certain extent with his ulnar tendon as well. And they, of course, all of them, at least not Cole yet, but I expect it, and many others have been very successful. We're not going to have that. I don't need that done. Again, we'll have other shows on those procedures when I get the proper guests on, so as to not comment a little bit too much above my pay grade. But my situation is called cubitus syndrome.
Now, this is incredibly ironic, given our recent episodes on wristwatches. The fact that Don has a elbow condition referred to as cubitus syndrome. Now, it's not spelled the same way, but Patek Philippe has a watch called the cubitus, and Don is currently considering chasing the Holy Trinity. So I've told him that after the successful completion of this surgery, he should consider getting that watch because he is tracing the Grail right now, but that'll have to be left to a future episode.
It's a strange name because it involves the cubital tunnel. Very similar. It's a close cousin to carpal tunnel syndrome, except it's basically the channel, the sheath which protects the ulnar nerve has narrowed, probably gunk, all clogged up, maybe stenosis, since I have plenty of that, plaque, who knows how calcified. There are a number of different options that they may have to engage in during this surgery, which may take a couple of hours. But it's called the cubital tunnel, which is spelled with a C, but cubitus syndrome is spelled with a Q, so it's kind of hard to find when looking up in your favorite AI system, or you're just looking up on Wikipedia. But they got to clean that out. They may even have to move the nerve itself, from what I've heard. But what I'm going to do is I am going to do a full real-time episode, similar to some of the other more interesting, more fun episodes, climbing mountains and going down canyons and so on. What I'm going to do is keep this recording live until they make me turn it off. My goal is to actually have the recording go on all the way through you going to sleep for the general anesthesia.
Now, this is going to be interesting because I don't know to what extent they let you record stuff like that. So let's keep listening and see.
I doubt they'll let me keep it on that long. I doubt they'll let me take the recorder all the way in. No, I know Katie Couric, also a University of Virginia personality, was able to do her breast cancer surgery 25 years ago, I suppose, and have an entire camera crew follow her. But
I did not know that. If Katie Couric can do it, Don should be able to do it. Don is just as charming.
Even at some point, they had to shut that off. So I'll do this for as long as I'm allowed. I'll record, that is. And hopefully be able to record right when I come out. I will make this as real time as possible. So I will be recording the second I'm allowed to put this recorder in my hand, no matter what I sound like or feel like. Apparently there is going to be a substantial amount of discomfort. I will be on tramadol. I've been on it before, kidney stones and so on, and it has worked well for me. So I'm going to be on that, and I've been able to stop it pretty easily. Kidney stones in 2016, and I was on it for 16 days, despite we had to. The kidney stone surgery, I had impacted kidney stones, and I had to do multiple trips out of the U.S., including a VMware Experts event that I was in charge of in Sofia, Bulgaria. So we used the tramadol to get through all of that, and I had surgery after 40 days. But so I was able to get off it pretty easily. There are, of course, any of these opioids or opioid derivatives, there is always danger involved in it. hopefully I won't be more than a couple of days and just go off the Tylenol. A couple of interesting points. I have had to stop taking any of the insulin-resistant pills or medications. I've had to stop taking Mounjaro, which I have for insulin resistance. I had to stop taking any NSAIDs, which I'm on. I'm on meloxicam. I'm on aspirin, daily baby aspirin. I've had to stop taking all of them in the last week and the last 3 days. I'm taking Synjardy, which is Jardiance, as well as metformin. I've had to stop taking that for the last 3 days. First time in a long, long time I haven't taken those. But some of the other drugs that I'm taking for pharmaceutical reasons, I'm allowed to take even up through tomorrow. The Cardeo valve for my bicuspid aortic valve, and the Flomax that I'm on for prostate issues. I'm allowed to take all of that. And hopefully, when I get through all of this, I'll be immobilized for 2 weeks. I've explained to my favorite 6-year-old who I play catch with that I will be able to play left-handed. Need to rewatch some of my favorite Jim Abbott throwing videos from the no-hitter in September of 1993 to relearn how to just throw left-handed without using my right arm at all. I can throw left-handed, so that'll be okay. Right now, I'm really unable to sign my name. I am able to throw, and I don't have any issues with that. I can't grip anything. I'm dropping my phone. Gripping a steering wheel is becoming difficult. The ulnar nerve should only be affecting my pinky and ring finger, but unfortunately now it's gotten to a point where it's affecting my entire hand. So the problem is escalating because of the wonderful structure of the American healthcare system at this point in December of 2005. I need to get this done now because the orthopedic group, Panorama Orthopedics, doesn't take the plan that I'll be on next year when my COBRA runs out. That is January 1st in 2 weeks. And because of course, you're dealing with many, $10,000 in deductibles as well. So just being totally and completely open about everything. And I will get back on tomorrow morning when we enter the hospital, and I'll try to tell you everything. Again, this is all about all things science and very open and fully disclosed here at the Don Sullivan Show. So I'm sure Stephen will have a lot to say about it as we go through this particular episode. I'm not going to say it's going to be a lot of fun, but it's going to be a lot of fun to do the recording and see what I can get away with in terms of how much they'll let me record. So until tomorrow morning, everyone, we'll see. And this is going to be a situational at bat for the doctors because I'll be asleep. I will have different situational at bats after that, no doubt. So again, until tomorrow morning, I'll see you.
Now, most people the night before surgery would be probably looking to relax because surgery can be somewhat stressful. Maybe watch some comfort shows on your television. But Don has decided to make this kind of an immersive experience for everyone and content for the podcast, which should be really fascinating. One additional note for the youngsters out there, Don was listing off a bunch of different medications, and some of you may be thinking, wow, that's a lot. But hey, that's often what happens as you get older. It's actually pretty common.
Well, hi, folks. It's the early afternoon of December 16th, and it's time for me to get ready to go into the Littleton Surgery Center, or South Denver Surgery Center, I guess, to start the preparation for them opening up my right elbow and doing whatever they have to do to my ulnar nerve to deal with this cubitus syndrome of the cubital, that's with a C, tunnel. This is apparently a close cousin to carpal tunnel syndrome, except it affects your whole arm, not your wrist or your hand. They are concerned with a couple of aspects of this, and that The particular condition should be affecting only my outer fingers, that is my pinky and ring finger on my right hand, but my thumb and my index finger are in quite a bit of pain and have been for a few weeks. So they're concerned that there are other aspects of the nerve or possibly other nerve endings involved, but we'll see. And as I said, I'm on the way in there, and I will start another segment once I get in and start getting prepped and talk you through everything I can until they make me turn off the recorder. I could make a joke and say pull out of my cold, unconscious hands, but I got a feeling they're going to make me give up the recorder well before then. But we're going to see. This should be fun. You'd think that I would be nervous, but I've been through this so many times before. Honestly, they're having me do this in the afternoon, so I'm really just hungry at the moment and want to get done with it. I'm not looking forward to 2 weeks of being immobilized with my right arm. I do use that for quite a bit. And obviously, I won't be able to travel for a few days. Whatever they tell me, I'll cut it in half and work on that. But we will be back here in about an hour or so when I actually start the real serious prep in the South Denver Surgery Center. See ya. Well, folks, here I am in the South Denver Surgery Center. Not nervous yet. It's kind of a nice place. Very friendly people, of course. I have to remember certain things. The drugs that I was allowed to take, as I said yesterday, in the precursor to this episode. I'm allowed to take, or have to take, my Cardaeval for a beta blocker. I could not take most of the diabetic drugs, the Synjardy, or I could have taken insulin, but I'm trying not to take that anymore at all. And I do have to remind them multiple times when we go in, as they constantly ask me 15 times that, or remind themselves that it is my right elbow they're working on. I got to remind them that I go very hypoglycemic when I go to sleep. So going under anesthesia, which I haven't in a couple of years, should be something they need to really be careful of. They will. This is not a new problem. It's just a worsening problem. But I'm in great shape overall, so this shouldn't be an issue. It's December 16th, and I do plan on heading out to Africa to climb Kilimanjaro in Tanzania in the middle of February, right after the Super Bowl. So it shouldn't be an issue. But yes, they are bringing me in. We'll see how long they allow me to continue recording here. Like I said, if they let me, I want to hold on to this recorder until I'm actually out. I think that'll be a lot of fun, but I seriously doubt they'll let me do it. But we're going to find out. I will then be right on with the continued discussion as soon as I get this recorder back in my hand. So I want you, the audience of the Don Sullivan Show, from a scientific perspective, of course, to hear what exactly I sound like coming out of anesthesia. Now, I've probably gone in and out of anesthesia 20 times. I have to count them.
20 times? Oh, man, that is a lot. You should be getting frequent flyer miles. I think I've had it maybe 4 times in my life, and I thought that was a lot.
But it's not a pretty experience in general. Plus, I'll be in quite a bit of pain. Fortunately, I do know how to do a lot of things with my left hand. I'll be immobilized for a couple of weeks. We will be doing a couple of episodes that are already scheduled. Stephen has all of them scheduled. But it will be awkward at least. I won't be able to drive. I know that. And there are a lot of other things on the schedule need to be taken care of between the middle of December, that is today, December 16th, as I said, and the end of the year. So it is highly inconvenient, but the use of my right hand is becoming less and less effective. So we need to do this. So again, the operation is on the cubitus with a Q syndrome, probably to open up the cubital tunnel, which is the sheath that my right arm's from the elbow to the hands ulnar nerve traverses through. Something that Major League pitchers, which again we will have shows on the Don Sullivan Show about, often have to, or the tendon that goes along with that nerve, the ulnar tendon, has to be replaced in what is known as Tommy John surgery. We don't replace nerves. But whatever is wrong here, the lack of use of my right hand, my grip strength getting worse, should be fixable. It might take a year, but it should be fixable. Can't really feel too much in it right now. I'm sure that's going to change here in a couple hours. But let me pause right now, and I'll get back when we possibly can. Well, folks, I'm back in the surgical area, and I am putting myself into the traditional surgical gown.
This part of the episode's pretty noisy. It sounds like an ER episode. I tried to tamp down the background on it, but hey, it is definitely experiential.
And it's always awkward and always anticipatory at very least. But I expect this will go relatively well. We're already about an hour and a half late, but so it is. And I expect that I'll actually be able to use my right hand pretty soon. Well, 2 weeks or more after this. So just putting on my outfit here. It's always fun.
Have you taken it recently?
As you become a ward of the hospital and putting all my stuff into plastic bags and getting ready.
Okay. Okay. Great. Were all of these medications that
Well, now that I'm all dressed up here with my vitals being taken, my blood pressure is quite low actually for some reason, because I'm used to this, I suppose. And my oxygen is perfect for Denver, which is about 95, and everything looks pretty good overall. They're about to start an IV on me, and that's where the fun begins. So I look really awkward right now, and we will post a picture of me looking really awkward with my hairnet.
Our producer, Bill, who continues to fight baldness, is very jealous of the hairnet, Don.
And hospital gown on. I'm trying to be as discreet as possible because I know they're going to take this recorder away from me pretty soon. But I'll get it right back as soon as I can coming out of the anesthesia. But I'm going to try to stay with this as long as possible. It will be on my left hand then, of course, because I will not be allowed to use my right arm for quite a while. And yes, most of my regular medications I'll be able to take starting tomorrow morning. So let's pause again.
Thank you.
Blood sugar at 120, not bad. And here comes the IV, folks. This is always fun because they can't ever find a vein. I've hit them up so many times for these various different procedures, for nothing recreational, mind you, but they've stuck them so many times it's hard to see them anymore, I think. All right, folks, they're taking away everything from me now. It's time to go in and see what happens. I'll get this recorder back when I come out. It should be fun. IV in, and we're getting raring to go, so I can use my right hand again one of these days. So I'll see you when I get out.
Just like the airport, Don thought they were about to board, but there was a delay.
So apparently I still have to wait more. I'm all hooked up and ready to go. But I have to talk to all of my doctors, the OR nurse, as well as the surgeon, as well as the anesthesiologist, and tell them all about everything. My blood sugar being at 120 is really not bad. It's amazing, since I haven't eaten anything since 8 o'clock last night. Don't know why that happens, but I suppose once I go to sleep, it'll all change. Somebody's in here to say hello, but I guess not to really talk to me. So let's pause for now until I actually have something else of substance to say rather than just rambling on.
And the wait continues.
Still here in the waiting room, folks. You can hear the background. My legendary patient's being tried. I'm feeling a little bit funny, even though amazingly that blood sugar. How is my blood sugar actually 120 after I haven't eaten in 10 hours or 12 hours?
Well, obviously, it's because Don is such a sweet guy.
Or more. It's pretty amazing overall. But I had to turn the recorder back on just to ramble because, again, I'm lying here waiting for whatever is going to happen. Talk to you soon. So, folks, apparently, they're going to wait still a little bit. My right side of my hand is only arthritic. It's not going to be affected by whatever surgeries they're doing, but they do have to deal with the outside of my right hand. So my thumb is going to remain in pain, which is not that bad. But it's all interesting how the different things connect to each other. It's got nothing to do with my thoracic issues. It's just arthritis. So another pause.
And this is the last transmission from the Starship Sullivan before he actually received the anesthesia and went under for surgery. I was waiting to see if they would let him actually keep the recording running as he counted down. Of course, nobody makes it to the end. Well, I sure never did. But in any case, in lieu of a countdown to Don falling asleep, I did add some scary music. So here goes.
Hello there, audience of the Don Sullivan Show. I am out of anesthesia and I have a big bandage, huge bandage on my right elbow. Apparently things are mostly fixed. I haven't talked to the doctor yet. As expected, my ring finger and my pinky are extremely numb. My calves hurt a lot because they have the compression socks on, but that's also expected. And it looks like things went pretty well. But again, I have to talk to Dr. Froelich, who did the surgery on me. I was only totally under for 16 minutes. I counted down to 10 twice really fast so I could say that I actually did it.
I feel like that's cheating. We're going to have to get a ruling on that, guys.
But the third time they had me do it, I was out like a light. But they woke me up pretty well. So this, unlike other surgeries I've been through, was really quick. Under 20 minutes, totally under. So hopefully I'll be able to use my right hand again and be able to sign things again. And we'll find out exactly what was wrong in a few minutes when the surgeon comes by. But I'm in pretty good shape. I actually found that I can eat Cheez-Its. There are plenty of calories, only about 10% carbohydrates, and no sugars, so I actually can eat them. So that's good stuff. All right, see you for the moment, and I'll get back when... and I'm not even that groggy. I'm not that groggy, right, people? It's amazing.
Sounds better than I do most mornings. I'm impressed.
I came out of this one pretty well. So I will talk to you in a few minutes, so see you for the moment. Hey, everyone, they're going to let me out of here within a half an hour. I'm a professional at this operation stuff. Unfortunately, there's going to be a number of them in 2026 that I'll be able to record.
Why is that?
Well, I've just been asked why it is, and we will have an entire different Don Sullivan show on BPH, which is a 63-year-old man's enlarged prostate.
Oh, God. Buckle up, folks.
But I will do Kilimanjaro before that, and we'll have lots of episodes before that, but we will have an entire episode on the fun, always fun, cystoscopy. We're very open here on the Don Sullivan Show, and the whatever they do to me to reduce the size of my prostate so I can actually be a normal man again at that point. But that's a discussion for a different day. Right now, they're going to let me out of here, and I will talk to you when I'm on the way home. So see you for the moment. Well, folks, on the way home, I've recovered from the anesthesia. Sound a little groggy, I know. It's the way it's supposed to be. They gave me some water and some Cheez-Its.
I never got any Cheez-Its after surgery. What's going on here? I feel like Don must be like the elite member status over there or something like that. I love Cheez-Its.
Apparently, I'm allowed to eat Cheez-Its. No sugar. And tastes pretty good. Nope, very little carbohydrates, too. So I need to add that to my repertoire of stuff that I'm allowed to eat and take with me on various different adventure tours I go on. My whole right hand is totally numb, although it's not within the bandages. And of course, I have to leave the bandages on for 2 weeks until I see Dr. Froelich again. He, from secondhand information at the moment, it appears that he was able to clear up what was ever going on in my cubital with a C tunnel. So hopefully, and it should be, that my entire right hand should come back to life. It's going to be pretty painful in a few hours and for the next few days. So I have tramadol with me. I've had tramadol before. In fact, I've been on it for 40 days when I had a catastrophic kidney stone issue 10 years ago. And of course, I was on 3 different continents at that time too. Well, 2 different ones for that particular incident. But I had no trouble with it, so I will take tramadol. I can take Tylenol. It's not counterindicated. I will be able to start my normal medications tomorrow in the morning. Everything else that I'm taking. So just being totally open here on the Don Sullivan Show as to how everything is going, and I will update you when I get home. Likely be pretty sleepy, but this went pretty well. I'll be able to throw again in a couple of weeks. I can throw left-handed now. And I think everything just generally went fine. So very choppy, I know, with this episode. Very, very real time, so to speak. And I think that's really good for our real-time science, technology, and computing theme, which I will, again, keep this one going and give you some updates, particularly when I start feeling a lot of pain. That should be loads of fun. But so, again, see you for a little bit. We'll get on to another segment later. Hi, folks. So they check in. It's about 8 o'clock at night. And I'm in a state of zombiness. I guess it's zombiness. Or in some ways, I suppose it's better to say that my mind is emerging from the anesthesia, and in the midst of the early throes of tramadol and the cubitus syndrome may have been addressed and dealt with, but at the moment, I can't feel my right hand, and people around me think it's very funny that I keep saying that, but I really can't feel it. Now, I suppose that's probably a good thing, since there would be tremendous amounts of pain if I could feel it, but I really can't feel it. It's like lying down on a pillow, and it doesn't feels like it's floating in the air. So, again, under the auspices of science, technology, and computing, I thought it would be very interesting and useful to share with the vast audience of the Don Sullivan Show exactly what the effects are of having a surgery like this. Now, I suspect that I will sleep tonight. I hope I do. Tramadol is pretty powerful. I've been on it before, as I said. And I suspect that tomorrow morning I'll be in significant pain, and I will be able to feel my hand, or at least the day after that. And I wish that I wasn't able to feel it. But, that's the way it goes. So I'll tell you what, let's just close this out for tonight, and I'll check back in tomorrow morning. And we will continue with this episode. So see you for now. Good morning, folks. It's the day after my elbow surgery, so I thought I would update you before we close out this particular episode. There will be more, but I'm feeling pretty good. No longer zonked out from the anesthesia. I did take my tramadol this morning. This will probably be the last time I take it and just go on to Tylenol after that. My arm is still, of course, very bandaged and feels pretty good, though. Not that much pain. My fingers are still numb, but I can feel them. They're tingling numb. But unlike yesterday when I had the nerve block, I couldn't feel anything. I can feel it now, feel both my pinky finger and my ring finger on my right hand. I am able to move my arm around a lot more than I had suspected. I can't imagine what it looks like. I won't see that for a couple of weeks. But I've got many other scars to compare it to. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. We'll see if this actually brings my hand back to life. We'll see if I can properly sign my name again, because I know there are many fans of the Don Sullivan Show who want my autograph.
You guys have no idea. It's like the Beatles when Don leaves the house.
Well, not that, but I certainly sign a lot of things, a lot of documents, have for a very, very long time, the various different duties that I've had and different positions that I've had. So I need to be able to sign properly. And I think that things will go pretty well today. It's pretty good weather. I'm going to walk my dog a couple of miles, but otherwise I'm going to take it pretty easy. I may wind up traveling in the next couple of days for personal reasons, but I think overall this went pretty well. At least it seems to have at the moment. And glad you all listened in. Try to be as open as possible and as revealing as possible with everything that's science, technology, and computing here on the Don Sullivan Show. Again, I'm sure Steve will have some commentary in the front and the back of this particular episode. I will tell you that 2026 is going to bring a whole bunch of different types of adventures. I am going to climb Kilimanjaro in February. I'll probably have 3 or 4 episodes in that, going on safari as well in Tanzania in the same trip. I am going to have prostate surgery as well. I'm 63, and that happens to men in the 4th quarter of their lives. I don't have cancer. My PSA, which every man should have checked after about 45, age 45, my PSA is in the 3s, so I just have what's called BPH, which is enlarged prostate, which causes all kinds of problems. There's just a lot of problems, particularly with urination. And I'm on medication to lessen those effects, but the medication has a lot of side effects, so it's very, very likely I have that surgery probably in March or April. And then we also have this crazy back issue that I've got going on, which I'm going to learn more about in the next couple of days. So I will add these episodes into the repertoire, into the schedule of the Don Sullivan Show for as many of these different medical events, only for the purpose of not highlighting myself, but to give the audience an understanding, a real-time sense of what it's like to actually go into a surgical center or an operating room of any kind and experience the awkwardness of having to completely disrobe yourself and then get yourself in a hospital gown and have everybody all over you, moving you onto the surgical bed, and then what it's like going under anesthesia and then coming out of anesthesia, whatever level that it's on. It's an amazing experience. It's not very pleasant, but it obviously is necessary, and it's an incredible facet of the although extremely financially dysfunctional Western civilization, particularly American financial medical system. The actual operation, the execution of the American medical system is pretty amazing. We had this particular surgery scheduled months ago, and it went off exactly on time without a hitch. So as much as I sarcastically complain about a lot of things, particularly the financial aspects of this, the insurance aspects of it, that's a total mess and needs to be addressed sooner rather than later. Certainly, I have to be very, very grateful as I've had many, many surgeries. I think I've told you I've had.
They did get Cheez-Its.
4 surgeries on my ankles, 4 surgeries on my knees, surgery on each of my shoulders and now my elbow. I've had heart surgery. I've had kidney surgery. But yet I'm in very, very good overall condition, enough that at 63, I'm going to climb Kilimanjaro. So lots of things are wrong, but they keep getting fixed. So with that, I'm going to let you go. And remember, folks, whether or not we're climbing a mountain, whether or not we're going down into a canyon, whether or not we're in a jungle somewhere in South America or in Africa, that no matter what, the best philosophy of life, the thing that you must understand, is that everywhere in life, at all times in life, that all at-bats are situational. Talk to you soon.